In today's video, we'll be doing a full review of AI SEO. AI SEO is an AI copywriter in which you can use to write both short and long form copy. So there's a bunch of templates in which you can choose from, and you can write things such as Facebook ads, Google ads, product descriptions, and you can also write long form content such as blog posts, articles, ebooks, and any other types of long form content. Included in AI SEO are a couple of pretty unique features, such as the long form assistant, which helps walk you through the blog creation process. And they also have a pretty unique content improver template, which allows you to rewrite content up to 3,000 characters. So that's a lot more than other content rewriters that I found in different AI copywriters. And the last feature that's pretty intriguing is the blog post generator template. So you can generate a whole blog post just by giving some content, and the AI will actually give you a full-length blog post. So that's a very unique template that I haven't seen in any other AI content writers. So I'm curious to see if we can actually get some good content by using the blog post generator. Also, if you want to go ahead and get a lifetime deal for AI SEO, if it is still available, I'll leave a link in the description below. Right now, it's $50 for a lifetime deal, and you would be able to generate up to 25,000 words each month. If the AppSumo deal is expired, then I'll leave the regular monthly plan in the description below. So let's go ahead and take a look at AI SEO, and let's start by looking into the long form assistant. So the long form assistant is very comparable to Jasper AI's long form assistant. Essentially, it walks you through creating a blog post. So if you go ahead and hit the blog post workflow, so this is where you would set up your blog post. So you want to enter the keyword or the topic in which you're writing about, and you want to enter your title as well, and you can enter your location if you like to. So whatever your blog post is about, that's what you'd enter in the search query. So we'll be writing a blog post about how to prepare for a job interview. So I'm going to leave the title as that as well, and then create new document. And now you have to create the title for your blog post. So again, you just want to describe your blog post, enter some keywords, and you can write a title or let the AI create the title for you. Okay, so I've described the blog post in which we'll be writing about. I've entered our keywords, and I'm going to generate. And if you scroll down, you'd be able to see the titles that the AI pulled for the topic in which you're writing about. Okay, so as we can see, we get some different titles here. Interview etiquette, what not to do in a job interview, pre-interview activities, the 5 mistakes most job seekers make when interviewing. Okay, I think this one's really good, so let's go ahead and choose that. But you'd want to go ahead and read through all of these different titles and choose whichever one you like the best. And you can even generate more titles if you don't like any of them that you get at the beginning. And once you create your title, the AI will then generate your intro for you. So as we can see, we have a couple different intros here. So you just want to go ahead and read through the intro paragraphs and select whichever one's the most relevant and has the best copy for the blog post in which you're writing about. Okay, so I think the first one is pretty good. So let's go ahead and select that. And once you finish generating your title and your intro, you just hit editor, and this will take you to the full blog post editor in which you'd be able to complete writing your blog post. And just before we continue the video, I want to let you know that you can still enter the free AI copywriting giveaway. I'll leave the details in the description below. If you've used Jarvis or Jasper before, you can see that it's very similar to the feature that's included in Jasper, but the UI is a little bit different, and it does take a little longer compared to Jarvis, but it's still a pretty decent blog post assistant template. Okay, so this is the intro that we got, and the intro actually included some tips which sort of helps with our outline. But if you want another outline, you can head over to templates and scroll down, and if you go down to O, you should be able to see outline generation. Now I think this should be included in the blog section, but it's currently not, but that's not a big deal. Just scroll down, and once you find that output, just go ahead and copy the title, paste it in, and you can write another description or just copy and paste the intro paragraph. So here's the first copy that we got for the outline. So you just want to go ahead and look at the various different copy that you got for outlines, and you'd probably have to mix and match and take whichever ones you find are most relevant and the best and just paste it over onto your document here. But the outlines weren't the best in terms of what we're writing about. I would have liked some better outlines from the AI. But if you're stuck on creating an outline for your blog post, there's a couple other features in which you can use to get some ideas for outlines. So if you go ahead to the right hand section of the AI content writer and select outline, the AI will actually pull all of the top ranking blog posts for that keyword, and they'll actually pull all of the H tags. So you can take a look and see the outlines that are being used by some of the top ranking blogs on Google. So this is a really cool feature, and it saves you a lot of time rather than having to manually go on Google and search up your keyword and go through each blog post. You can go ahead right here and see what H1 tags or what topics you need to include within your blog post. So as we can see, this blog post has a pretty good outline, and they talk about practicing greeting your interviewer, studying your resume, practicing your answers, researching the company, find out what type of interview you'll be doing. So you can go ahead and select whichever outline or H tag you like the best, and you can go ahead and paste it into your editor. So this is a way of sort of manually building your outline. So that's a really neat feature, and I think it kind of makes up for getting subpar results from the AI content writer for outlines. And another cool feature is once you add those headlines, you can go ahead and click generate draft, and the AI will start writing about those headlines. So for instance, if you remembered, we grabbed the headlines about practicing greeting your interviewer and about researching the company. So as you can see, when you add it in, the AI will actually add some content relating to that blog post. So that's another cool feature and another neat way to get more content for your blog post. So as you can see, you would get a lot of content if you use that method. So just go ahead and read through them, see whichever content is most relevant, and remove anything that you don't think needs to be there. So let's go ahead and try to get some content for a blog post paragraph. And again, there's a couple of ways in which you can do so. First is by heading over to templates and then using the paragraph long answer. So all we have to do is input our question. So I've went ahead and entered the question, and I've gotten in some content. So researching a company to find out about their business or about the position that you're applying for is the key to successful job interviews. You need to find out the company's strengths and weaknesses and how they plan to solve problems. You also need to learn their culture and see whether they would be a good fit for you. So this is a pretty good paragraph. So let's go ahead and paste it in to our blog post. So to get long form content for your blog post using AI SEO, you'd want to combine using the different templates and using the write with the AI function, and also combine that with the SERP outline function, in which you'd be able to create some content using different outlines that are in the top ranking blog post on Google. Now let's look into some other features that's included in AI SEO. If you wanted to include an FAQ or just different questions within your blog post, head over to the questions section, and I've already clicked generate questions, but essentially once you do so, the AI will pull all of the questions that's included in the top ranking blogs on Google. So again, once you go ahead and pull these questions, you can paste them in to your blog post. So if you're running low on content or not sure what to include within your blog post, this will be a very, very easy and good way to get more content ideas. Next is the NLP term. So NLP is natural language processing. So essentially what this is going to do is going to pull all of the keywords that are included within the top ranked blog post and try to use those same words within your blog post as much as you can. So I believe you have to click on the keyword, and then you'd be able to see how many times you actually use that keyword within your blog post. So that's a nice little feature to help you optimize your blog post and make sure that you're including the keywords that need to be included within your blog post. And right below NLP terms is SERP facts. So what this does is it'll pull all of the content that may be considered a fact. So if there's a number or a percentage within that, the AI will pull it in this section, and you'd be able to use that fact within your blog post. And if you scroll down to the public library, this will be different templates that's actually been created by different members in the AI SEO community. So these are sort of custom templates in which you can use for your blog post. So I would go through these if you're looking for a blog post template that's not included, I would go through these templates and maybe you can find a good one that works for the content that you're writing. So now that we've done a review of the long form assistant and some of the different copywriting templates, now let's go ahead and look at one of the most exciting feature, which is a blog post generator. Now this feature promises to be able to create or generate a whole blog post in one go. So all you would have to do is enter the topic or keyword in which you're writing about, and the AI should create a full-length blog post using that information. So let's go ahead and try to get some content as to how to buy a home as a first-time home buyer. Okay, so the first section, you'd have to again write the topic and the keywords in which you're writing about, and I would put as much information as I can within these sections, especially if you're using this template, because the more information that you give the AI, the better the content should be. So it's pretty similar to the blog post workflow. So once you enter the information, just go ahead and click generate title. So the first thing that we're going to generate is the title, and just go through these and see whichever one you like the best. So how to buy a house, the fast and easy way, the money saving solution, how to buy a home as a first time home buyer. So that's pretty simple and straightforward. Let's go ahead and do that. So after you choose your title, now it's time to generate your intro paragraph. Again, very similar to the long form assistant template. And again, you just want to go through these different intros and see whichever one you like the best. I think the first one's pretty good. And here is the blog outline that we get. Some couple different outlines in which we can choose from. So what exactly is a home loan? How do you calculate your monthly payments? Your down payment, buy the right house, how to buy a home as a first time home buyer. What is repair title? What are the costs? What is a mortgage? So I'm going to go ahead with the second outline. And after the blog outline is the structured outline. So this is the outline or structure in which the AI will follow. So for the first section, how to buy a home as a first-time home buyer, it's going to talk about calculating your monthly income, determining your loan amount. And then for the second, what does repair title mean? It's going to talk about repaired value. And for cost of buying a home, it's going to talk about closing costs, insurance, and so on and so forth. It's a good way to get an idea of what the full-length blog post will look like. So this is the full-length blog post that we got back. And as you can see, we got over 2,000 words, which is really good because we literally did not write a word in the blog post. We just gave it some content and then we're able to get a full-length blog post. And just from scrolling through this, I gotta say I'm very impressed by the content and just by the structure that we got using the blog post generator. Usually if you use an AI content writer to write the whole blog post, you're not going to get that great of content because it's very difficult. An AI copywriter should be a helping hand. It shouldn't be the hand that's writing the full blog post. But this is a great way to get a full-length blog post, and then you can just go ahead and edit this and add any other information that you like. But it would make your blog creation process so much easier, and you would be able to save a lot of time. So this is a very neat feature. So in summary, AISEO is a pretty good AI copywriter. In terms of pricing, I think it's very competitively priced. There's a $0 plan, but if you wanted to get an unlimited plan, it's only $34 per month. If you know the pricing for other AI copywriters, this is definitely on the lower end and a very great price for an unlimited plan. And if you're lucky enough to get the lifetime deal, then for $50, this really is a very good deal. But in terms of quality of the AI content and ease of use, there's some improvements that need to be made. The AI content isn't the best at times, and you have to sort of work around that to get some good quality content. And if you're a beginner, this can be harder to do, but if you have some experience using AI copywriters, you'd be able to use the different templates and features to help you get some decent content. In terms of features and templates, they have a variety of different short and long form templates in which you can choose from, and they also have some pretty cool features like the ability to create a full-length blog post within a couple clicks, and the ability to pull different SERP outlines from different top-ranking blog posts and then creating new unique content for those outlines. So with that being said, I would have to give AISEO a rating of 18.5 out of 20. I like their pricing, their features, and their templates, but there needs to be some improvement in the quality and the ease of use when it comes to using the AI copywriter. If you enjoyed this video, then give us a big thumbs up and subscribe for more videos in the near future. Until next time, stay well.